welcome. Welcome back to the Stony Brook University campus. We are so excited to be here in person at the Long Center. I see some brand new members here today, and I see some not so new members, and I also see a few people who I think I've only ever seen from the shoulders up on Zoom. I hope that you've all received your welcome packets in the mail in the past few weeks, and that you're ready for OLLI at SBU's best year yet. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Brienne Delegati, and I'm the program director here at OLLI at Stony Brook University. And I would like to kick us off today by introducing you to the amazing OLLI at SBU team. So, first, I'd like everybody to get loud and excited and give a loud, extremely exciting round of applause to our staff. First, I'd like to introduce Liz Wilson, Member Relations Assistant. Devin Hannon, Program Coordinator. And our incredible graduate student assistant team. We have Mutaka. Sophia. And David. So I just want you to know that without the hard work and support of this team, my days would be a lot less fun, and this incredible program would not be possible. So let's give them another giant round of applause. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we are going to be covering a lot of information today, and I'm sure some of you might have a few questions. You might have already had some and caught me on the at the door on the way in. So there's a couple of different things you can do to get those questions answered. Make sure you stay connected to OLLI in every way possible. The first thing you can do, you can send an email to spdolli@stonybrook.edu. This is our dedicated inbox here to help all of our members at any time that they need. This inbox is being monitored from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if you send an email, you are guaranteed a response within 15 minutes. We have answered emails over the past 2.5 years, and we've had over 1,600 inquiries made in the last 2.5 years, and those questions have all been answered. So thank you to everyone who's used that. You can also check out our website. We have stonybrook.edu/OLLI, and there you can check out our calendar where you can stay connected to all of the most recent meetings, events, and happenings here at OLLI. You can also read about OLLI in our What's Happening newsletter. This comes out on the 1st of every month, delivered right to your inbox, the email address that you provided at registration. And you can review our member handbook. So this handbook was sent to you in your welcome packet. You have a nice printed copy, but if at any time you'd like to check it out online, it is available under the resources tab on our website. We also encourage you to reach out to the volunteer leaders here at OLLI. There are many folks here, such as some of the folks on stage that you'll have the chance to meet a little later on in the presentation, who are a wealth of knowledge about the OLLI program. So make sure you're reaching out to the volunteer leaders here. And last but not least, we'd love for you to stop into the OLLI main office. So for those of you who are familiar with the Social and Behavioral Sciences building, or SPS as we like to call it, you can check us out. We're on the first floor just past the brand new vending machines and right around the corner from the restrooms. Okay, so I've had the pleasure of being the director of this program since July of 2019. This was a time before masks, before we were wiping down our groceries with Lysol, and before we were social distancing. I got to meet dozens of members and learn about the history of the program and this campus. Now, several months later, we were faced with what we now know as the pandemic, and we've been faced with many challenges, but you, the OLLI members, are what keeps this program going. I am so proud to be able to tell you that our Osher Institute was one of the first to be fully operational via Zoom, converting over 50 workshops from in-person, our traditional format, to being held virtually on Zoom within just 2 weeks of leaving the campus in March of 2020. Now, fast forward 2.5 years later, I'm even more proud to tell you that we are one of the elite first workshops that are being offered in-person, virtual, and hybrid. So we have 3 different modalities. Our first modality, which most of you are familiar with, or if you haven't had the opportunity because you've joined in the last 2.5 years, we are now offering our in-person workshops again this fall. We also have, and will continue to have, our Zoom workshops available. And our newest modality, which is hybrid. Hybrid is where folks can take workshops from at home on the computer at the same time that other folks are taking their workshops in person on the campus. So we're offering synchronous learning, so you can participate at home and ask live questions to the workshop leaders at the same time that people in the classroom are also asking questions. So I would really like to thank every member who believed in OLLI and who renewed their membership each semester that we remained virtual and supported our new endeavors and ideas. While it is not the same OLLI we all once knew, the pandemic did bring some positive changes and opportunities for us. I'd also like to thank those who made a gift to the member giving account and who supported us on Day of Giving. Your donations made a difference and helped us make 2 classrooms fully hybrid in the SBS building. And while we're thinking about thanking folks, I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't acknowledge every single OLLI workshop leader who dedicates their time, energy, and passion into making sure that OLLI at SBU has the best workshops on the planet. So if you are a workshop leader, could you please stand, because you deserve an absolutely tremendous round of applause. So workshop leaders, please stand up. Now, this program would not be possible without many things, but university support is one of the most important. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Stony Brook University and the many departments and people on campus that help make this a tremendous success. Thank you to Stony Brook University's President McGinnis and Provost Luez, the Division of Information Technology, also known as DO-IT, Mobility and Parking Services, Campus Cards, Campus Operations and Maintenance, the University Police Department, Campus Health, Wellness and Prevention Services, and the Career Center. And last, but certainly not least, the School of Professional Development. I would especially like to thank Pat Malone and Diane Perillo for the immense amount of support and guidance that they provide to OLLI at SBU. I would now like to introduce you to Diane Perillo, so that you can learn a little bit about the history of OLLI and our program's connection to Stony Brook University. Diane?
Good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you to today's program. Just going to give some notes about, if you're not familiar with the history of OLLI. It is in more detail at the, on the OLLI website, but how we're connected. So I figured a good instruction would be to see the circles and think about the circle of trust. We all trust everybody, and at the center, OLLI is our focus. In 1987, the School of Professional Development, the dean at the time, wanted to create a peer-taught program for retirees. Between 1987 and 1988, they formed a committee and the roundtable was born. At that time, there were 37 members. We can say now our OLLI membership has gone up to 1,100, and then now with COVID, we're around the high 600s, but we started at 37 people. Remember that, and see how we've grown. On July 1st in 2007, the Bernard Osher Foundation approached Stony Brook University and the Stony Brook Foundation, and Bernard Osher endowed Stony Brook Foundation with a $1 million endowment and grant to take the roundtable and turn it into an Osher Institute. So you hear the words OLLI, Osher, and OSHA Institute. It means the same wonderful thing. There's only 124 OSHA Institutes nationally. We are one of them. So when you think about what you're part of, not only are you part of Stony Brook, but you're part of this institute. OSHA, who is our endowment and the foundation that oversees the programs, created a group called the NRC, the National Resource Center. That center is what helps the OLLI directors and all the campuses live to the word and what Bernard Osher asks us institutions to uphold. So Brianne and her team is connected to the 124 directors that are across the nation. So it's a really nice, tight unit. Anyone, fraternity and sorority life or athletic in your college career, think of that. Think of that when you see the letters of the fraternities and sororities, those finite groups, those national organizations. This is what OLLI is. So how SPD is connected. We are the host campus, the host unit on campus that is asked to be part of and run and operate and make sure that everything that the OLLI program is doing is in line with the university. Brianne mentioned all those campus contacts. That's all her hard work in educating the university about how great and wonderful this program is for the campus. Over the years, we've seen lots of changes, but I see a lot of growth, a lot of other partnerships. For anyone who came out for the Community Service Day last weekend with our new undergraduate students, OLLI made the newspaper. OLLI's getting out there. So that's important because the National Resource Center asks the universities to report what we're doing. Not only are we connecting peer-to-peer education, but we're connecting all of the OLLI members to the campus and the campus to the OLLI members. So that's important to understand all our little circles and bubbles. The university itself has many resources, which Brianne and Liz and Devin make available in that newsletter. I tell you one thing, when you see those newsletters, read them. There's a lot of information in it. Don't unsubscribe to us because we have a lot of good things to tell you about. Doesn't hurt my feelings, but it hurts Brianne's. Lastly, I would like to just state that Brianne and her team and Ella and her team are two wealths of information. And if there's one thing that I can think about when I think of all the staff members and the volunteers, the word that comes to mind is passion. Every single person that helps us with OLLI, the workshop leaders, the volunteer leader committee heads, the individuals that volunteer in the office and the staff, passion is what I see and hear from them in every single interaction. So I welcome you. We want to see your passion and share our passion with you, and then to continue the growth of OLLI. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I would now like to introduce to you and have you give a very warm round of applause for our Executive Council President, Ella Nice.
Can you hear me? Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you for coming. As you can see, my name is Ella Nice. That's really my name. And I'm president of the County Executive Council. At the risk of being repetitive, I'd like to begin by welcoming all of our new members to the OLLI family and the 2022 fall semester at Stony Brook University. We're really very happy to have you here. To the existing and returning members in the audience, thank you for coming and welcome back to the campus. Yay. Okay. Like most people in the audience, I'm retired. At the onset of what I call my retirement era, my mantra was simply, I don't want to get up early anymore. That was it. That was my whole main goal in life. So imagine my surprise when very shortly thereafter that really didn't seem like enough. So it didn't take me long to figure out that making the transition from hectic work-life schedule to one of total leisure wasn't exactly particularly fulfilling for me. So I began to search around, looking for something, and lucky me, I found the OLLI program here at Stony Brook University, Concept of Lifelong Learning in a University Setting. I can honestly say that this is the best thing that could have happened to me. We have art, music, literature, history, science, philosophy, politics, social activities, trips, lectures, all of this available in one place and with lots of interesting people. Not too long ago, I saw a factoid sheet about Long Island. It had all the usual stuff like beaches, famous people, and school districts, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that really struck me is they said that on Long Island, we have more volunteers than any place else in the country. That made me really proud to be a Long Islander. So our OLLI is a testament to that factoid because with the exception of the staff from Stony Brook, everybody here is a volunteer. This is a volunteer-led organization, and we're proud of that designation. After you've for all new members, after you've had some time to acclimate yourself, I highly recommend that you research volunteer opportunities on our website. I have personally found volunteering to be one of the best and fun ways to meet new people and forge new friendships. We have a pretty full schedule today, and I know you can feel overwhelmed with information overload with the size of this campus, but I want you to know that everybody here is happy to welcome you. We want you to be successful in our program, and we want to do everything in our power to make your first semester here as seamless as possible. In conclusion, and before I hand the mic to the next speaker, I'd like to once again welcome our workshop leaders, executive council, past president, president-elect, and thank them all for being here today. Okay. On stage with me is the committee chair people. I'm happy to introduce them all. We have Bunny Averill, who is the chair of our long-running chair of our Travel and Leisure Committee. We have Dorian Day, who's the chair of our Member Relations Committee. Next is Jane Cash and Karen Powell, who are joint chairs of our Curriculum Committee. And Bob, who's our next speaker, who's the chair of our Arts Committee. Thank you all so much for being here, and I really look forward to meeting you all on campus.
Okay, hi, I'm Bob Stone, and I'm actually the co-chair, whether they like it or not, of the Arts Committee, and I see Faye Graber has appeared. So if Faye would come down and come to the front, so we can both say our piece. Come on down, Faye. Come on down. The price is right. While she's coming down, let me just mention the two major things that we've been doing on the Arts Council over the years is the art wall, the art exhibit, and the literary tea, which both are open to all members. You don't have to be a member of any of the workshops, you just have to be a member of OLLI. So if you are familiar with those, if you've been around, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, please check with some of the committee members or anybody else to find out how you do this. If you want to paint, if you want to draw, if you want to have any kind of sculpture, you have a chance to exhibit it here on every semester. We have the art wall. We also sponsor the literary tea, which is for written work that anybody can perform, whether it's poetry, whether it's memoirs, whether it's short stories. So that's available, and that's for all members also. We have regular meetings once a month on Tuesday mornings, and we welcome anybody to come. We want new ideas, we want new thoughts, we want new people none of us are getting any younger, so let's get some new people in here to give us some fresh ideas. Meanwhile, let me open this up. Trey is the co-chair. Speak a word. Hey, Greg.
Just add one more thing, that I've been a member for 23 years. Taught in Harborfield's art teacher for 30 years. And why so long? I think it's so important to keep the gray matter working. You know, and you can do that with learning. You just keep on learning. The different workshops are exciting, some of them. And if they aren't, it's great. You just don't show up. And to be creative. And when you retire, a little bit scared, you know, but you know how you can get around that? You create your own schedule. So you're the author of your life. And I'm so glad that you're here at this beginning. Good luck.
Hello, everybody. My name is Karen DiPaolo, and I joined OLLI 5 years ago after I retired from teaching. I joined OLLI expecting to participate in a few interesting workshops and to make a few new friends, but I didn't anticipate that OLLI would become such an important part of my life. The members are what make this organization so special, as we've all been saying. We are a cooperative organization, which means we rely on our members to lead the workshops, which really are the lifeblood of our organization. Our generous members share their interests, their talents, their expertise to design and lead sessions for the enjoyment of their fellow members. This is the beginning of my second year as co-chair of the curriculum committee. You'll hear from my partner in a moment. It is the curriculum committee's job to assure that we continue to have a robust schedule of workshops. That means we're constantly trying to expand our offerings to meet a wide range of interests. It means seeking out new workshop leaders and giving them the support to make them successful. I've discovered myself that although our membership includes a tremendous variety of accomplished people from many different career backgrounds, a successful workshop can be developed from a hobby, an interest, even a curiosity. A topic perhaps you want to learn more about. We have the tools and the resources to help make it into a successful workshop. This is my third semester of co-leading a workshop. I want to mention that if you have an interest in leading workshops, a wonderful way to start is to find someone who shares your interest, your passion, and work together. It's been a wonderful way for me to also meet what I hope will be new and lasting friends. I welcome you as new OLLI members to enjoy our workshops when you're ready. We hope many of you will join the ranks of our leaders. And if you're interested, to join our curriculum committee. We're always happy to welcome new members. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jane Cash. Compared to a lot of people there, I'm a newbie. I retired from nursing 1 year ago, mainly because my 55-year-old daughter was going to retire. She didn't want to retire before her mother. I can be considered to be a legacy member, as my mother was a faithful participant in the Round Table. For you newbies, Round Table was a founding precursor of OLLI in the 1990s. Its remarkable success led to the great organization that is OLLI today. It has amazed me that OLLI members have such a broad range of professional training interests, and life experience. So many members have been willing as volunteers to share these talents with others in the community. When I retired, OLLI workshops filled a gaping void while introducing me to many remarkable people. OLLI opened my eyes to new areas of study such as film, poetry, outdoor exploration, literature, and history. For this reason, and with some trepidation, which I may regret, I am teaching a workshop for the first time in my life in the fall. Of necessity, I am becoming a serious techie with the help of the staff, undoubtedly. I joined the curriculum committee as co-chair to help expand the offerings of OLLI. I encourage all of you to consider becoming workshop leaders, to share your gifts, experience, and skills with the rest of us. Welcome to OLLI and to the new worlds that will open for you and your fellow members. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to OLLI. My name is Doreen Day, and I am the chairperson of the Member Relations Committee. I would prefer to be called Queen, but they told me that's not an option. So, to tell you about the Member Relations Committee, we're people that you can talk to at any time on campus or by email and to ask questions, as well as the OLLI staff. We set up all sorts of activities in terms of like movies, going out to lunch, having happy hours, all kinds of things like that. So we very much appreciate and expect your input into what you would like to see and what you would like to do. And we'd also like to have some of you join us on the Member Relations Committee if you're interested. The other thing is to be very careful of any chair people or presidents, because if you see them, they will make you volunteer. That's how I got here. I retired in 2018 from Stony Brook Hospital, and I joined OLLI in 2019. I was immediately brought on as a executive board member for 2 years, and now as a chairperson. So as I said, be careful.
Hi. My name is Bunny Averill. Sometimes I'm referred to as Myrna, but that's only when people are angry with me. But we're one and the same. I'm chairman of the Travel and Leisure Committee, formerly known as Special Events. And what we do is augment what a lot of the other committees do. We take trips or sometimes in the case of COVID, we had to rely on Zoom with having lectures. We brought in people of interest and exposed our audience to them. In the past, before we were limited by COVID, we were very instrumental in taking trips to the city. We went to Lincoln Center, we went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, we went to behind the scenes at the Met. We did a myriad of walking tours. We've gone as far as Philadelphia, we've gone to Gettysburg for a weekend, and as of late, we've been a little bit more limited because of the fact that we weren't sure if people would want to get on a bus. But we've decided that enough is enough. And there are enough of us who would like to do what we used to do in the past. So for right now, we have trips. Oh, I should say fishing trips. We've done, lately we've tried to stay on Long Island. We've done fishing trips, we've done discovery boat trips, we've gone to local museums. We're going in the fall to, we hope, the Parish Museum and to Brookhaven Lab. We're having to augment our in-person. We're also going to do a Zoom with an art history lecturer. And this is where we're at. So we welcome any new person to our committee because we really would love new ideas. And as one of our, as Doreen said, and as one of our past presidents said, be careful who you sit next to on a bus. Don't know what you might be getting into. Again, why I became involved was because I believe if you're taking, you have to give back. And this is such a wonderful organization to take from. Please give back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bunny. And thank you to all of the executive council members and chairs that have gone up. Okay, so I would now like to introduce the Assistant Vice President for Student Health, Wellness, and Prevention Services, Marissa Biziani.
Hello, welcome everyone. So you don't know me very well, but I feel like I really know you because for the past 2 years, I've been talking about COVID and pandemic response and when we can finally come back to an in-person experience for OLLI. So I have to say that you've been on my mind for the past 2 years. So I just want to applaud you that you're back in person. I think that this is just wonderful. So great round of applause. So the purpose of my visit today is to really talk to you about campus health. So just a little bit about myself. My title is Student Health and Wellness, but really after this pandemic, I think we should be calling me Campus Health and Wellness. I oversee all the health and wellness areas for students on campus. And once the COVID pandemic hit, I became greatly involved with the campus COVID response team. So I developed the surveillance plan, how we were going to be testing for students and employees, and how were we going to manage isolation and quarantine policies, our health pandemic response, and I'm the co-chair for the Pandemic Health and Safety University Committee. So I've done a lot of work, and I continue to do that work, and I think we've pivoted to a new space with COVID. And where I'm at, personally and professionally, is a lot where our executive members were for the OLLI team, where I think we're moving to a place where we're recognizing that there is infection and there is ways of getting sick, but we do need to enjoy our lives and we need to move on. And I want to express to you some of the ways we can do that and be safe for ourselves, our family members, but also safe to each other. So I'm going to talk about vaccination really quickly. I think we all have heard that there's a new vaccine, bivalent, coming out. It's going to be coming out very shortly. And I'm not going to tell you that you should run out tomorrow and get a booster. I'm going to say that be very cognizant of vaccination and find opportunities to get vaccinated, and they are essentially everywhere. Everyone has their own personal feelings about vaccination, and I'm not going to discuss that, but I am going to talk that if the best way to know if you're eligible for a booster, because these things are always changing. For instance, Novavax is a new vaccine that just was approved recently. And there are a lot of questions, is to go on the CDC, and they actually have an algorithm checker. And it says, how do I know when I'm due for my booster? You literally press the button, you put in the dates and the manufacturer of what you were vaccinated with, whether it be Moderna or Pfizer. And it will tell you, and also will ask you questions about your medical and health history, because your age and whether you have chronic medical problems, that also plays a role. And it will tell you when and if you are eligible for a booster. And I think that that is the best and wisest thing to do, is to just remain cognizant, and I strongly encourage you to consider getting boosters. And because the bivalent is coming out, which will be the protection for the Delta, but also now the B4 and B5 variants, those are the subvariants that we know about 90% of what everyone is getting right now. And I just want to say COVID right now, if you were to get sick, is not the same COVID we had in 2020. We've, as a nation, have experienced tremendous loss and tragedy from this virus. And Now with B4 and B5, what a lot of us are experiencing if we were to get ill is a cold, is an upper respiratory infection, not the lower respiratory infections that have left many hospitalized, vented, and subsequently, faced death. But it doesn't mean that that couldn't happen. So although I want to remain positive, I want us to all be cognizant of that. But the most important thing is really to monitor your own health. So I have come to bear goodies. And if you saw me walk in the room, I have a bin. And the bin I have is of home antigen tests. And everyone here is welcome to take at least one, and if I have extra, you can take two. And I give that to you as a gift because it's important that you monitor your health. If you are not feeling well, please do not come onto campus. Check your temperature, don't assume it's allergies, don't assume it's hay fever. Be cognizant of this. And please check your health. And now I'm gonna give you an antigen test to check and to see. If you're exposed to someone, or if a close family member says that you've been exposed to COVID, don't jump out and test yourself that immediately. You're not gonna turn positive. Most likely, if you're gonna turn positive, it's 5 days after the exposure. So I'm gonna give you those, and please, and I also have extra, so you can get my contact information, but I do encourage you to test at home on your own, but also monitor your health. And if you don't have access to a test, that's fine too. Just stay home and wait for you to get better and seek private medical care. Secondly is masks. I see some of you are wearing masks, some are not, which is perfectly fine. It is a personal choice. The mask mandate at Stony Brook University has gone to the wayside as of March 2nd of this year. And what that means is that really only hospitals, over at University Hospital in certain areas, particularly one of the areas that I carry or oversee, which would be like, let's say, student health services, you're required, if you're receiving any medical care, to wear or don a mask. But it's not required on shuttles or buses here, it's not required just being in this room, and social distancing is no longer required as per CDC guidelines. So it's a personal choice. So if you are not feeling well, stay home. And I'm gonna tell you, if you have COVID, you're staying home for 5 days. And when you come back, if you were to have COVID, the guidance is to wear a mask for 5 days after and not travel. So if you have, we'll talk about resources in a little bit. So mask is personal preference, it's not required. So if you see someone not wearing a mask, it's perfectly fine, it's their personal choice. Good practices. This sounds kind of silly, I'm gonna tell you this, but believe it or not, it really means so much. I don't know if everyone recognizes this, but when the mask mandates were present, a lot of peers that I knew always said to me, I never got a cold. It was so bizarre. I got COVID twice, but I didn't get a cold. I didn't get an upper respiratory infection. And what we realized was that we had honed in on the general population the importance of hand hygiene and not touching your face, because people couldn't touch their face so much because they've had a facial covering on. They only really took it on and off. So actually, if you really think about it, it's like almost putting practice into work, where you saw over that 2-year period, we really didn't see that many upper respiratory infections. And if you talk to private medical physicians, their visits were not typical of the colds, the headaches, the congestion. It was really COVID and other things, but not what we had seen historically. So I'm gonna say the good practices really work. You have to wash your hands, and if you can't wash your hands, honestly, hand sanitizer. I drive a minivan, I'm a mother of 3, and I put the Purell in my, right in my little, where you put your coffee. And wherever I go into a store, because I'm touching everything, if I'm in Walmart, Target, buying the stuff I need, BJ's, I was at BJ's Riverhead last night, I spray the Purell and I put it right on. And I do this now, and I found for myself personally, it really does work. Don't touch your face. I cannot stress that enough, because when you're touching everything else and you touch your face, you're going to get sick. You're going to take all those germs and introduce it to a portal of entry. And cover your mouth. So when you cough or sneeze, that's a spontaneous response. So try to not do this. Do this. And we're all very quick to do this. And if we make the mistake of doing this, find Purell and wash your hands. Kind of wipe down whatever surfaces that are commonly used. If you're using a monitor or this podium, after we use it today, this should be wiped down. Those things are important. The resources for you on campus, like I said, I'm gonna give you some resources today for your antigen testing if you don't feel well. We have a Stronger Together website. So all you have to do is even Google SBU Stronger Together, and you'll see faculty, staff, students, and visitors. And a lot of everything I'm saying to you is under the visitor section. And New York State Department of Health is always a resource. And I have to tell you, the CDC has just about information on everything, including, I don't want to say the word monkeypox, because that is the newer thing that's coming out now, and the media is bringing that to the light. And I have a lot of questions coming to me about monkeypox. So anything you want to know, I have to tell you, the CDC has done a phenomenal job with their website. I don't think anything else I want to tell you. That's about it for me. I do want to give you, though, a minute to ask me questions. I know the other speakers didn't, but because this is health and wellness, I do feel it is important. So if you have a question for me, you could just speak loud and I'll repeat the question and I'll answer it. Anyone?
That means you were very good.
So I will leave these antigen tests towards the back and we will figure out how you're gonna get to them. Oh, I do wanna tell you something very important. Do not get worried that they say there's an expiration date of October. They expire in January. But we did not have time to take the 10,000 antigen tests that I got from the state and put stickers on them. So just know that they are good till January, okay? And have a wonderful orientation experience, and I'm so excited, I can't wait to see you on campus.
Thank you so much, Marissa. I would now like to introduce the Stony Brook University Police Department. We have officers Pete, Jared, and Joe.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my back alley members. Do I need the mic? Yes.
No, no mic? Yes, Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, welcome. Welcome back, alley members. Welcome back again to the university. We are police officers here at this university. I'm Pete, this is Joe, and this is Jared. We are the community relations team here at this university. We have a PowerPoint for you on general campus safety. We are a sworn law enforcement agency. We are police officers. We are here 24/7. We have police powers. I'm sure most of you might be familiar with Suffolk County Police, Nassau County Police, State Police. They have police powers. We have police powers as well, and we work here at this university. Uniformed members of our department, like the three of us, we wear a uniform. We have supervisors, detectives, and a command staff within our police department. We are graduates from Suffolk and Nassau County Police Academies. And the last bullet point states that we have gained New York State PCGS accreditation. What does that mean? It means that the training that we do here at this university with the police department, we are held to higher level of standards than other police departments. We are accredited through New York State.
Okay, so SB Alert. How do we get in touch with you in the event of emergency here on campus? Let's say it's inclement weather and your classes are canceled. What's an active shooter here on campus? How do we notify you? Using SB Alert. So everyone is signed up for SB Alert using your Solar account and your campus email. So in the event of any emergency on campus, we'll provide you with a text, voice, or email, what we call a blast, to your mobile device, apprising you of what's going on and what you need to do. We have campus-wide LCD panels, just big screen TVs all over campus and all academic buildings. We can take those TVs over and post messages on them for you, again, telling you what's going on and what you need to do. We have a voice-capable fire alarm system, so our police dispatcher can speak to you through the fire alarm system. So if you are away from your mobile device and you didn't get the SB alert, you don't know what's going on, that's okay, because we can tell you what's going on through our fire alarm system. We're on Facebook and Twitter and all of that jazz, and we don't have that many friends or followers, and I'm not sure why. But if you are on social media, you can like us and friend us and follow us. We might also post updates on those platforms as well in the event of emergency. We also have what is called SB Guardian. It's a free app. If you have an iPhone or an Android phone, it's in your app store under the title Rave Guardian, R-A-V-E Guardian. It's a free app, free download. What we like you to do is download the app. You set up a profile page. You can put your picture there, your description, your class schedule here, any emergency contacts you may have, your residents off campus, alternate phone numbers, any health concerns. So, for example, let's say you're on campus and you're walking to your car, someone's following you, you get a bit nervous, you reach for your phone to dial the university police, but you don't have our number on your phone, that's okay, you have this app on your phone. All you need to do is open up the app and then press the emergency button on that app. Once you press that emergency button, that phone call will go into our police dispatcher. On our dispatcher's main computer screen pops up the profile page you made, so now we know what you look like, we have all the information that you provided us. The app is also GPS enabled, so on our map of campus, since you press that emergency button, you now become a blinking blue dot. So we see exactly where you are on campus, we assume you're in trouble because you pressed that button. Our dispatcher dispatches all police officers that are on campus to that blinking blue dot, which is you to help you out. So that's how the system works. So it works anywhere in the world. We've been butt dialed from Jerusalem. We haven't gone to Jerusalem to help the person out, but we do give a call. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. I butt dialed you guys. So we do follow up on every call.
All right, this is an important slide. I'm sure most of you might have cell phones. If you want, take a picture of this slide. So how to reach the police department here at this university. Dial 333 from any campus phone, any office phone, wall-mounted phone. Hit 333, go right to our police dispatcher. Or from that phone as well, you can also hit 911. That will also go to our police dispatcher. From your cell phones, very important, 631-632-3333. From your cell phone, you must dial that entire number. What happens if you dial 911 from your cell phone? Where is that phone call going? It's going to Suffolk County PD. Why? Because they're the largest police agency in our area. You don't wind up talking to their police dispatcher. They're going to find out you belong here at this university. They're going to transfer that call. In a true emergency, what did that just cause? Time delay. Excellent. So to reach our police department from your cell phone, 631-632-3333. Our number for our office communications team, 631-632-3056. Crimes of opportunity. This is one of the major crimes here at this university. Crimes of opportunity. You're giving somebody the opportunity to take something of yours. So, make sure if you're in your office, you're walking from place to place, especially in your office, lock, secure your belongings. If you do not bring nothing of value to this university, don't. All right? Make sure you lock your doors when leaving your room, and be aware of your surroundings. Walk in numbers. All right, power in numbers.
Okay, so we're going to shift gears here and talk about what if there is an active shooter situation here on campus. Is everyone here familiar with the concept of run, hide, fight? People have heard it before. If you haven't, it's okay, we'll explain it. So these are your options before the police actually arrive to the scene of the active shooter situation. If you can run, if you're able to do so, run out of the building, get out of the area. If you can't run, your only option is to hide, then hide. And if worse comes to worse and you come face to face with that active shooter or shooters, you need to kind of change your mindset and fight to survive. So we're going to show you a video, hopefully it's working. We did this video maybe 5 years ago. It takes place in a dormitory setting with students, but the same concepts in the dormitory translate to any academic building here or any workplace. Okay, so we'll play the video, see if it works, and then we'll discuss run, hide, fight.
Stony Brook University is serious about providing a safe environment and ensuring that residents know how to react during an emergency. This video stages an active shooter scenario and will show actors in different situations. Always remember, in times of danger, follow your instincts and get to safety as soon as possible. Remember to call the University Police immediately at 631-632-3333 from a mobile phone or by dialing 333 from any campus landline. During an active shooter situation, your survival may depend on the actions you take in the first few moments of the event. Your safety is your top priority. Assess the situation. Know your escape routes. If you can run, run. And if possible, get others to leave with you. When you feel safe, discourage others from entering the area. When calling the University Police, provide as much information as you can. The shooter's location, a description of the shooter, and the direction of flight.
It's wearing red sweatshirt. He's headed to the second floor.
If you cannot run, hide. Remember to silence your phones, turn off the lights, and keep quiet. If you have SB Guardian on your mobile phone, activate it. Use whatever you can to block the door, like furniture or a doorstop. Wrap a belt around the top hinge of the door or the handle to keep it from opening. Do whatever you can to prevent the shooter from entering into the room where you are. Prepare to fight if necessary. Commit to your actions. When fighting, fight aggressively. Improvise weapons, throw objects, and yell. The focus of police will be to neutralize the threat. Police will advance past injured persons. When police arrive, do not get in their way. Keep hands visible at all times. Know that help for the injured is on the way. Remember, run, hide, fight. Call University Police at 333 from a landline or dial 631-632-3333 from a mobile phone if you see any suspicious activity. Your actions in the first few moments of such an event can save your life and the lives of others.
Okay, so first up, run. If you can do so, that's your first option, your best option to run. So evacuate only if there is an accessible escape path. Leave your belongings behind, your jacket, your book bag, laptop, whatever it may be. Leave that stuff behind and get yourself to safety. That stuff can be replaced, you can't be replaced. Okay, so get yourself out to safety. Help others escape if possible. You can be with a classmate, a friend, a colleague, and you can hear these shots go off and say, oh my gosh, did you hear that? Let's run. And your friend can say, no, let me just finish this email. You can stay with that person if you want to, but please just coax them for a second or two. If they're gonna stay, let them stay. You get yourself into safety and only be responsible for yourself, not the other person. And try to prevent individuals from entering the area where the shooter may be. So if you're leaving the building and someone's walking in, try to be a good person and say, you don't wanna go in there, something's happening. Keep your hands visible. We all see police TV shows and police movies. When the police show up to the scene, they usually say, show me your hands, let me see your hands. We say that because we want to make sure there's nothing in your hand that might harm us. Okay, so try to keep your hands visible at all times. Try to follow instructions of our officers entering the building. And do not attempt to move wounded people. That is our job when we arrive at the scene, okay? So that is run. Next up is?
All right, hide. So again, what was your first best option? Is to do what again? Run. If this is you, and this is the bad guy, by running, what does that do? What does that create? Distance is in your favor, all right? Running creates distance. If you do happen to run, is it better to run in a straight line or a zigzag? Zigzag, you're a harder target, all right? So run in a zigzag. Excellent. So again, hide. You're in hide mode right now. So let's say you have 70 of you that wanted to hide in this room. If you can, shut off the lights. barricade or lock the doors if you can. Now you're in hide mode. If I see you or hear you, if I'm a shooter, if I see you or hear you, you're not hiding very well. Might be kind of tough with so many people hiding in a room, but nowadays, what does everybody have on them? A cell phone and a person go together nowadays. So it's important, imperative, that you silence or turn off your phone. We recommend silencing your phone in case you wind up getting alerts through your SB Guardian. So let's say you're hiding in this room and you have 14 phones on a hard metallic surface. And you just place them up on top. You get an SB alert from our department, or someone, a loved one's trying to call you. Say, there's an emergency going to the university, where are you? I'm the active shooter. I'm walking along that hallway behind you, and I hear a whole bunch of phones on a hard metallic surface. That's a phone vibrating. A phone and a person go together. I now know there's a lot of people in this room. So if I was the active shooter, I might want to make way into this room to do what? To more mass killing of innocent people. So try to keep that phone on your person, all right, not on a metallic surface.
All right, your third option and your last option, and this is the situation you do not want to be in. This is fight mode. Okay, so this is you against someone with a weapon. All right, you probably don't have a weapon on you. This is you fighting someone with a weapon. As you saw in the video, the students grabbed anything in the room to help them. I think they grabbed a crutch, they grabbed a water jug, whatever it is. So you're going to use anything in the room to help you fight against this person with a weapon. This is you trying to survive to the next day. You want to disrupt or incapacitate the shooter. Okay, you want to try to help yourself, and you want to use anything in the room to incapacitate that shooter. Yell, be angry, commit to your actions. All right, once again, this is you trying to survive to the next day. So whatever it takes in that situation, you're going to do to survive, whatever it may be. If you have to find something in the room to use to hurt that person, that's what you have to do. So this is your last option, and unfortunately, not a good option.
Again, some important numbers. Again, we went over this before. If you want to take a picture of this slide, you're more than welcome. But again, from a campus phone to reach our police dispatcher to alleviate a delay, 911 from that campus phone. Non-campus phone, 631-632-3333, such as your cell phone. In our department, we have probably about 120 uniformed members in our police department. About 65 police officers. So now, the red, white, and blue vehicles you see driving around throughout this university. This is the equipment that we have in those vehicles, let's say in the event of a possible active shooter situation. You have that ballistic rated Kevlar helmet. You also carry the AR-15. You carry the Colts 6920s, if that means anything to you guys. Heavy ballistic external vest. All the cops here at this university, we wear soft body armor that protects us against handgun ammunition. So when you put on that heavy ballistic external vest, it will stop long gun rounds, 308 and 3006 rounds. We have ballistic shields and our training. Why do you think our department here, why do you think we train with a lot of local and other police agencies? We train with state police, MTA, Port Authority, Suffolk County, Nassau County, East End townships. Why do you think we train together? What's the reason for that? Coordination. We're on the same page. If I go left, the person behind me knows to go right. We train together. Uniformity. Excellent.
The reason why we tell you about this equipment is back in 1999, we had a shooting in Columbine. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. It took the police about an hour to get into the school. All right, that's a very, very long time. Columbine, 1999. So since 1999 till now, a lot of things have changed. Obviously, the way we enter a building has changed, the equipment has changed. Back in 99, it took the police an hour to get in because they were waiting for the SWAT team to arrive with this equipment. Now, in this day and age, our department and many departments in the area have this equipment in their car. So the first car to arrive has this equipment, that person goes right in to eliminate a big time gap. All right, so 1 hour is very long. A minute is very long when someone is shooting inside a building. So the first cop on the scene with this equipment arrives, they gear up, they go in by themselves, if they're by themselves, whatever the case is. There's no waiting around, there's no waiting for SWAT teams. Every officer has this equipment in the car with them.
It's not going to be like what happened in Uvalde. We are going right in. I am not waiting. I am making entry into that building to take out that active shooter from doing more mass killing of innocent people.
All right, so in life, what would you do? You should be prepared. If you're on campus, if you're off campus, if you're going to the mall, if you're going out to dinner, always be aware of your surroundings, as Jared mentioned earlier. Know your exits. If you're going to be on campus often and you're in a certain building, know your exits and entrances. If you go out the same door every day, try a different door. You may need to use it one day. Cell phone reception. If you're in a certain building, how good is the cell phone reception? How good is the cell phone reception maybe in the basement, if you're in the basement? All right, if it's not good, where is the closest landline that you could use to call the police or someone else if you had to? Where can you hide? If you had to hide somewhere, you know, check out your areas. Don't lose sleep over this stuff. Just kind of keep it in the back of your head, have an idea of what you would do in certain situations. Phone numbers Pete gave you, so make sure those phone numbers are programmed in your phone, the 631-632-3333 number. And by the way, that phone number is 631-632-3333. That's for police, fire, or medical emergency. So if you need an ambulance, if you need the fire department, or you need the police, that one number does it all. We're going to show you a quick video of our EOC, which is our Emergency Operations Center on campus. This is located inside the police department. It's a very big operation. It's about $1 million operation. It's a room that pretty much is the hub of the campus. It shows all the video cameras on campus. If you swipe into a building with your ID card, it reports back to this. It tracks the weather. It tracks GPS on campus as far as the buses on campus, the police cars. It pretty much does everything. This is a little clip from the Weather Channel about the room and how it works. And this is probably the biggest operations center besides NYPD's in this area.
And the emergency operating unit here at Stony Brook University. And the reason we're inside is to show you they have an enormous operation going on. This area here is about 3 months old, and the main purpose is to notify the students in campus of any kind of hazard, one being Juno. So you see you got the Weather Channel up there, and then we've got all of these, different cameras throughout the campus. And here is a satellite image of what the campus looks like. This is really big doings, and we have all these seats are empty now. It's also manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got Jason back there. Hi, Jason. He's in the overnight shift. But at the peak of this storm, there were about, 15 people here overnight. The peak was Tuesday morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning. This is the assistant chief, and Larry Zaccarisi. And so tell me, what's the importance of having this, especially for a storm?
Well, the ability for us with a campus of this size and a standing population of around 11,000 residential students, we have to be able to monitor all the systems that we have. Everything from building management systems to our cameras and all the things that you see here, all the floor plans we have. This three-dimensional model really allows us to have actionable intelligence, real, live, common operating picture type of decisions for us to know what's happening in this weather.
And you know what, the height of the storm said about 1,800 students were without power, about, what was it?
An hour and 12 minutes.
An hour and 12 minutes, and you were able to see that on your system here.
That's right. Prior to implementing the system, we really would have had to look at a few disparate systems, but having it all together in one common view, we can see fire alarms, we can see cameras, we can see network switches and activity and electrical power and know well in advance of what's happening.
And this is just at Stony Brook University, and they of course talk with the National Weather Service, like you said, and you are constantly monitoring everything here. So this is what they have here just for the university. Classes have been canceled all up until the afternoon today, and then it's business as usual. Guys, back to you.
All right, the next little clip is going to show you how the camera system works and how this room has equipment that actually can dissect academic buildings on campus, actually pull up live feed cameras, and actually show numerous things. So we'll show you that real quick.
So that is the University Hospital. We have the floor plans on every floor. We're going to pull up the first floor of the Melville Library right now. All of those blue dots are the swipe car systems to get into rooms and buildings. Our system. And these yellow cones, those are our live feed cameras. There's about 3,000, a little over 3,000 cameras here on campus. Yeah. So if you're picking your nose, we can see it.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about anything on safety? Yes, ma'am.
Are the parking lots monitored by cameras? They're monitored by patrol officers, which drive through. We do patrol throughout the university, and also cameras. is run on a fixed schedule. Everything is all random, correct? Right. Any other questions or anything for us? Yes?
My comment is just to say I feel very safe. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I arrived my car and I had a flat tire, so my engine wouldn't start through like that.
You can contact Joe. He will give you the name of that tire.
I charge $50 an hour. Just so you know, we also have a parking.
Absolutely.
I don't give myself up. We have a parking service on campus as well. So like during the daytime hours, I think it's maybe 7 to 4, 7 to 5. There's a parking department who also assists motorists. So in that situation, I think they do like, they might help with a flat, they may help with if you run out of gas. They used to do lockouts, but I'm not sure if they do that anymore. But they do have a parking service. So I'm not sure if you want to
Call. Yeah, just call our number and they will direct you to that parking, and they will respond to your location.
Yes.
Remember, that number does everything, so call that number. Yes. Yes, sir.
Are there emergency call stations throughout campus?
There is minimal of those phones throughout the university. We used to have blue light phones here. We don't have them anymore. We utilize the SB Guardian app on your cell phone. But if you have to call a police department, if you have that panel, that box, you can hit that one button.
We're changing with the times, we're changing.
Right. So if you see that box, hit that button, and it'll go right to our police dispatcher. Where we encourage you to set everything up with your phones.
Someone else have a question?
Any other questions? Yes?
The situation that you described,
The flat tire?
would you calling 3333, right?
Nope, you call that number, yes. Any type of issues, problems, concerns, fire, medical, emergency, dial 333 from a campus phone, or 911, or from your cell phone, 631-632-3333. That one number does everything. Any other questions or anything for us? Yes?
The app is RAVE.
Guardian, Rave Guardian. It's a blue and white shield looking app.
So it's,
For the Guardian as well.
yes, Rave Guardian.
Guardian.
It should be in your app store. It's like Pete said, the symbol is a blue and white shield. It's free. Rave, R-A-V-E, yes.
Any other questions or anything for us?
I used to be a salesman. I had authority to carry a weapon. I never even thought of it. Can I do it here?
So,
The answer is no. All right. For any type of state university, SUNY grounds, the only people that are authorized to possess and hold and carry weapons is the university police. Everybody else, even the other police departments, they gotta get permission from the State University of New York to carry. Any other questions?
Yeah, is the SB Guardian the same as Rave Guardian?
Good question. SB Guardian that I spoke of is the same as Rave Guardian. Yes.
So Rave Guardian, it's a company. So Rave Guardian is the company. Storybook put SB in front of it and kind of personalize it. So it's the same thing.
Any other questions? Excellent. All right, well, thank you. Welcome members, and it's important emergency and welcome.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause for you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about workshop cancellations. So we have implemented a document that you can find on the homepage of our website. This document is a live Google document, meaning if we make an update to it, you can see it as we're updating it. Any workshop cancellation, any postponement, anything that regarding technology issues, we are going to post it here. So make sure you are familiar with the stonybrook.edu/OLLI website. Looks just like that. You'll click the button that says view this document, and we will list all workshops that are canceled or postponed. We encourage you to check this website every day before you come to campus so that you're not disappointed if a workshop is canceled and you show up and you park and you walk all the way across campus just to find out it's canceled. Schedules. So you've all participated in registration. You should have received your registration details, the results of the lottery if you're taking in-person workshops. And this week you'll be receiving the final schedule. It's gonna look a little something like this. You'll see anything blue is a Zoom workshop, anything yellow is a hybrid workshop, and anything red is in person. That will also be inclusive of the Zoom meeting IDs and links. So you'll see on the blue Zoom workshop boxes that there are blue hyperlinks. You can click that and get right into your Zoom workshop. Those links and passwords are the same for the duration of the entire semester. Okay, so if you're coming to campus and you're taking in-person workshops, but you're also taking Zoom workshops.
Maria, we have questions back here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, we're gonna take questions at the end if that's okay. You just have a lot of information to get through, I apologize. We'll take those at the end. So, where can you take workshops on campus? So if you are in person and you're taking a workshop and then you would like to take a Zoom workshop directly after, you can do so. There are plenty of places to do that. We have a lounge, an OLLI lounge in the SBS building. And there are also many places on campus where you can do that. We have the library, the student union, the chemistry building, and there's also a Starbucks on campus. But we do recommend that you bring earbuds or headphones. This way you're not disturbing anybody else and you're being courteous to those around you. Okay, big question, Wi-Fi. What do I need to do? How do I get connected to Wolfie Net Secure? Do I need to get connected? The answer is, if you are on campus and you're planning to take Zoom workshops, you need to get connected to Wi-Fi. In order to do that, you'll need your net ID and your password. If you don't know your net ID and password, that's okay, because we have 2 tech events. One is taking place today, and one is taking place tomorrow. So we will be in Building 17. In Building 17, we have staff who are going to be on site to help you get set up with your net ID and password. So again, if you're taking Zoom workshops from home, you don't need to set up your Wi-Fi, but if you're on a mobile device and you'd like to have good connectivity or avoid any overage charges on your phone, you will want to get connected to the Stony Brook Wolfie Net Secure Wi-Fi. Okay, SBU ID cards. So SBU ID cards are the premier identification of Stony Brook University. You are not required to get a campus ID card, but it does give you easy access to your ID number. You do need it if you're gonna park in the administrative parking garage. It will give you university library access, and you can use it for a Wolfie wallet, which lets you load funds so that you can spend money on the campus without having to use your personal debit or credit card. If you already have an ID card and it has an expiration date on it, you can ignore that expiration date. Those dates are printed. You are only required to get an ID card once. You do not have to purchase it year over year. But you are active in the system if you purchase your OLLI membership, and you don't have to worry about the ID expiration date that's printed. One thing I will say about the ID cards is that they're not mandatory, but they are really beneficial, so you will be able to get those later on today. I mentioned parking and needing your ID card to park in the administrative parking garage. We have expanded OLLI parking. So we are now able to park in 10 metered lots, and we have 435 plus available spaces. So you'll see in the OLLI specific parking map, anywhere that's orange on the map is in fact a metered parking lot, and you can park there. Those spaces are available to you if you purchase your OLLI hang tag. So there are 3 available options to park on the Stony Brook campus. We have getting your OLLI hang tag, which again, as I mentioned, allows you to park in any of those metered spaces, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is $50 per semester or $100 annually. If you do not plan to come to campus frequently, you are also eligible to park in the metered spaces and pay the meter on an hourly rate. So again, if you have the hang tag, you don't have to feed the meters. But if you don't have a hang tag, you'll have to pay the meters to avoid being ticketed. You also have the option to pay to park in the administrative parking garage, which is where you all should have parked today. Please note that the parking is complimentary today, so even if you received a ticket on the way in, when you leave, the gates will be up. Or if they're not up, you can kindly mention to the person in the booth that you are here for the OLLI orientation and you will not be charged for parking. So the parking garage is really close to most places that we have workshops on campus, the Wong Center, the SAC, and the SBS building. We did get a reduced rate this year, so we were paying $30 a month, and now it's $22.72 per month. And lastly, we also have designated spaces for persons with disabilities. So if you have a permit that is issued through your town, state, or county, you can park in any space on campus, any parking lot, any designated space, anywhere in any parking lot or on the campus that allows you to. The only exclusion is in the parking garage. If you would like to park in the disabled parking spaces in the parking garage, you must have an active parking pass for the administrative garage. Okay, so as we come to the end of orientation, I do want to let you all know that there is going to be an incredible campus tour. This tour is going to be led by two amazing volunteer Stony Brook University students, Amma and Cypher. If you guys could just raise your hands, they're in the back of the room here. So you guys are going to be following Amma and Cypher in a little while to go on the OLLI tour. So this tour is specific to everywhere on campus that OLLI members are going to want to know about. At the conclusion of the tour, we will wrap up at the student union. In the student union on the second floor is where you can get your parking pass and your ID card. Okay, so I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. I would like to thank